Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever noticed that the most powerful people in the world don't talk much? The wealthiest, the wisest, and the most respected individuals are not the ones shouting for attention. They move in silence, and when they speak, the world listens. Let me ask you, how many of you feel drained by the people around you? How many of you are struggling with the same problems, the same toxic relationships, the same distractions that are keeping you from your destiny? I am here to tell you something radical, something that will change your life if you take it seriously. You must learn to be silent. You must learn to cut all contacts that are holding you back. This is not about hate. It is about clarity. It is about focus. It is about protecting your destiny. In the wild, the lion does not announce its hunt. It moves in silence. The eagle does not scream before it soars. It moves alone. Silence is a sign of strength, not weakness. The more you talk, the more you expose yourself. The more you explain, the more people misunderstand you. Some of you are sharing too much your dreams, your struggles, your next moves with people who are secretly rooting for your failure. It's time to stop talking. Let your success make the noise. There are places in life where you cannot go while carrying unnecessary baggage. Some friendships, some relationships, some circles, they are not meant to go where you are going. If you want to elevate, you must separate. Eagles don't fly with pigeons. They fly alone. If you want to reach your highest potential, you must be willing to walk away from anything and anyone that is slowing you down. Listen, you are not a public park. Not everyone should have access to you. Your time, your energy, your mind, these are sacred. The more available you are, the less you are valued. Have you ever noticed how people respect those who are scarce? How they admire those who are not? Always accessible? It's time to restrict access to your life. Let them wonder where you are. Let them feel your absence. That is how you gain respect. Look at nature. The seed grows in darkness before it breaks through the ground. The caterpillar is hidden in a cocoon before it becomes a butterfly. Some of you are afraid to be alone, but I tell you, your greatest transformation will happen in isolation. When you are alone, you can hear your thoughts. You can discover who you truly are. You can reset, recharge, and refocus. Every time you argue with a fool, you are spending your energy. Every time you explain yourself to someone who refuses to understand, you are wasting your power. Your energy is like money. Stop investing in things and people that give you no return. Some of you are broke, not financially, but mentally and emotionally, because you have been giving yourself to the wrong people. It's time to budget your energy. Protect it. Guard it. Use it wisely. Let me leave you with this. When you disappear, people wonder. When you stop responding, people start thinking. When you reappear, they respect you. You must learn the power of mystery. Stop explaining yourself. Stop proving yourself. Let them think what they want. And when the time is right, when you have built yourself in silence, when you have grown in isolation, you will return with results. And they will have no choice but to respect you. So I challenge you today, be silent. Cut all contacts that are draining you. Disappear if you must. Work in silence. Grow in silence. And when you emerge, let your results do the talking. Because in the end, silence is not weakness. Silence is the language of the wise, the strategy of the strong, and the path to true success. In a world where everyone is desperate to be heard, the one who remains silent holds the greatest power. We live in an age of constant noise, social media updates, breaking news, conversations filled with empty words, and people who believe that speaking the loudest means they have the most influence. But the truth is, power is never in the noise. Power is in the silence. It is the one who speaks less but thinks deeply that controls the room. It is the one who listens more than they talk who understands the game. Silence is not a sign of weakness. It is a tool of the wise, a weapon of the strong, and the foundation of true authority. The most dangerous individuals in history were not those who shouted their intentions, but those who moved quietly and struck with precision. The most respected leaders are not those who explain themselves to everyone, but those who say little and let their actions speak. The greatest mysteries in life are not the things we already know, but the things that remain unsaid. Silence creates an aura of mystery, and mystery attracts curiosity, respect, and even fear. When you do not reveal everything about yourself, people begin to wonder. They start to observe you more closely. They analyze your movements. They try to predict your next steps. And in that moment, you have power, because no one can control what they do not understand. Many people fail to realize that talking too much can be dangerous. Every time you speak, you reveal something about yourself, your emotions, your plans, your weaknesses, your thoughts. The more you reveal, the more people can use it against you. Some people talk themselves out of opportunities. Others talk themselves into problems. They expose their fears to their enemies. They explain their strategies to those who will betray them. And they waste energy trying to convince people who will never support them. But the wise move differently. They speak only when necessary. They do not waste words on meaningless conversations. They understand that their voice carries value, and they do not throw that value away for free. There is a reason why kings, billionaires, and world leaders do not respond to every comment. Do not explain themselves to everyone, and do not engage in pointless debates. Their silence is a demonstration of their power. It forces people to listen when they finally speak. It makes others second-guess themselves. It creates uncertainty in the minds of those who try to oppose them. Imagine two people in an argument. One is shouting, explaining, proving, while the other simply stands, observes, and responds only when necessary. Who looks more powerful? Who looks like they are in control? It is always the one who speaks less but commands more. Silence is also a strategy. When you refuse to react to everything, you maintain control over your emotions. The moment someone can trigger you with their words, you have given them power over you. The moment you feel the need to explain yourself, you have placed yourself beneath them. Some battles are won not by fighting, but by refusing to engage. Some victories come not from shouting, but from remaining calm when everyone else is losing control. The one who can stay silent when provoked, who can walk away without responding, who can observe without reacting, that is the person who always wins in the long run. There is a reason why the most valuable things in life move in silence. The roots of a tree grow underground, unseen, but they hold the entire tree in place. The strongest storms come without warning, taking everything by surprise. The most successful people do not announce their next move, they simply show results. If you truly want to be powerful, stop announcing everything you are doing. Stop explaining yourself to people who will never understand your vision. Stop wasting words on those who do not value them. Instead, learn to master the power of silence. Because the less they know about you, the less they can use against you. And the less you speak, the more they listen when you finally do. There comes a time in life when you must make a difficult, but necessary decision to separate yourself from the things, places, and people that are no longer serving your growth. Elevation requires separation. If you truly desire to reach new heights, you cannot remain attached to the same weight that has been holding you down. Not everyone in your life is meant to go where you are going. Not every relationship is designed to last forever. Some people come into your life for a season, to teach you a lesson, to push you forward, or even to show you what you do not need. But when their purpose is fulfilled, you must learn to let them go. If you refuse, you will delay your own progress. Many people struggle with this concept because they believe that loyalty means keeping everyone close, no matter what. But the truth is, loyalty to others should never come at the expense of your own growth. You must be more loyal to your purpose than to people who no longer align with it. This does not mean you hate them or wish them harm. It simply means that you recognize when a connection has expired. Holding on to the wrong people, the wrong habits, or the wrong environments can be the very thing preventing you from stepping into your destiny. Look at nature. When an eagle teaches its young to fly, it does not keep them in the nest forever. It pushes them out so they can discover their own wings. If they refuse to fly, they fall. But if they embrace the push, they soar. The same applies to you. Life will push you out of certain relationships, out of certain comfort zones, out of certain environments, not to punish you, but to teach you how to fly. When you refuse to separate, you remain stuck in a place that can no longer sustain you. Some of the greatest moments of transformation in life come after separation. When you distance yourself from constant distractions, you gain clarity. When you step away from negativity, you regain your peace. When you remove yourself from environments that drain you, you recover your strength. There is a reason why successful people value solitude. They understand that not all company is good company. They know that being surrounded by the wrong people can kill a dream before it even begins. Elevation demands sacrifice. Sometimes that sacrifice is comfort. Sometimes it is familiarity. Sometimes it is the people you once loved. But you must ask yourself, do you want to stay comfortable or do you want to grow? Do you want to remain surrounded by people who keep you in the same place, or do you want to separate so you can elevate? Every great leader, visionary, and trailblazer had to go through a season of separation. They had to leave behind what was familiar to step into what was greater. They had to walk alone before others could follow them. If you are afraid to be alone, you will never discover the fullness of your own potential. Not everyone will understand your decision to separate. Some will be offended. Some will accuse you of changing. Some will try to make you feel guilty. But remember this, your purpose is greater than their opinions. You are not leaving people behind out of pride, but out of necessity. You are not abandoning them. You are answering the call on your life. If they truly care about you, they will understand. And if they do not, they were never meant to go with you in the first place. The truth is, separation is not always easy, but it is always necessary. Growth is impossible without it. If you truly desire to reach new levels, you must be willing to release anything and anyone that is keeping you from rising. Do not be afraid to step away. Do not fear loneliness. Your elevation depends on it. One of the greatest mistakes people make is believing that everyone deserves access to them. They believe that because someone is friendly, because they have history with someone, or because they feel obligated, they must keep the door open to everyone. But let me tell you something, your time, your energy, and your presence are valuable. Not everyone deserves access to you. The more available you are, the less you are valued. The more people can reach you anytime, the less they respect your time. If you do not set boundaries, people will take from you until you have nothing left to give. Look at the most powerful and successful people in the world. They do not answer every call. They do not respond to every message. They do not allow just anyone to enter their space. Why? Because they understand that their time is their greatest asset. They understand that not everyone deserves access to their thoughts, their emotions, or their presence. They are selective because they know that too many distractions will pull them away from their purpose. You must adopt the same mindset. Some of you are drained, not because you are doing too much, but because you are entertaining too many people. Some of you are stuck, not because you lack potential, but because you have surrounded yourself with people who do not push you forward. If you allow the wrong people into your life, they will consume your time with meaningless conversations. They will drain your energy with unnecessary drama, and they will fill your mind with distractions that keep you from your goals. You cannot afford to give unlimited access to people who do not add value to your life. There are people who only come to you when they need something. They do not support you, they do not encourage you, they do not celebrate you at the moment they need help. They show up. And because you have not set boundaries, you continue to give, thinking that being available makes you a good person. But being available to the wrong people does not make you good, it makes you unwise. You must protect your space. You must recognize that some connections are only meant for a season. Some people are not meant to go with you to your next level. And if you continue to allow them access, they will keep you where they are, instead of allowing you to grow. Imagine a king or a queen. Do they allow just anyone into their palace? Do they let everyone speak into their lives? No. They have guards. They have gates. They have protection, not because they hate people, but because they understand that access must be earned. You must have the same mindset. Stop letting people walk in and out of your life as they please. Stop explaining yourself to those who will never understand your vision. Stop feeling guilty for protecting your peace. Your energy is currency. Spend it wisely. Some of you need to start distancing yourself from people who no longer align with your purpose. If they only bring gossip, distance yourself. If they only bring negativity, distance yourself. If they are not pushing you toward growth, they are pulling you toward stagnation. It is time to be intentional about who has access to you. When you limit access, you increase value. When you are not always available, people respect your time more. When you stop allowing everyone into your space, you create room for the right people who inspire, uplift, and challenge you to become better. Not everyone deserves access. To you, your time is precious, your peace is priceless, your energy is sacred. Protect it, guard it, and give it only to those who truly deserve it. There is a season in life where you must walk alone. A season where distractions must be removed, where voices must be silenced, and where your focus must be sharpened. This is not a punishment, it is a process. Growth requires isolation. Every great transformation, every major breakthrough, every powerful evolution in life happens in a place of solitude. The problem with many people is that they fear being alone. They fear separation. They fear silence. But what they do not realize is that the greatest versions of themselves can only be discovered in isolation. Look at nature. Before a seed becomes a tree, it must first be buried underground. It spends time in darkness, alone, unseen, unnoticed. No one praises it, no one recognizes its potential, no one sees its struggle. But something powerful is happening beneath the surface. In that isolation, the seed is developing roots. It is strengthening itself for the growth that is about to come. If you were to dig it up too soon, it would never reach its full potential. It must remain buried for a season so that when the time is right, it will break through the ground and rise. This is the power of isolation. Some of you are in that season right now. You feel alone. You feel forgotten. You feel like no one sees you, no one supports you, no one understands you. But I need you to hear me clearly. This is not the time to quit. This is not the time to complain. This is the time to grow. The isolation you are experiencing is not meant to break you, it is meant to build you. You are developing roots. You are gaining strength. You are preparing for something greater than what you can see right now. The most powerful people in history went through seasons of isolation before they stepped into their greatness. Every visionary, every leader, every World Changer had to go through a period where they had to separate from the crowd and focus on their development. They had to disconnect from distractions, from people who could not see their vision, from environments that no longer served their growth. They had to become comfortable with solitude because in that solitude they found clarity. They found purpose. They found direction. Many people never reach their full potential because they refuse to embrace isolation. They constantly need noise. They constantly need company. They constantly need validation. But greatness is not found in the crowd, it is found in the quiet moments when you are alone with your thoughts, alone with your purpose, alone with your God-given assignment. The more you embrace isolation, the more you will begin to hear your true calling. Isolation is not about loneliness, it is about transformation. The caterpillar does not become a butterfly while surrounded by others. It must enter a cocoon, a place of stillness, a place of restriction, a place where no one can see the work that is happening inside. It may look like nothing is happening, but inside that cocoon, the caterpillar is undergoing a radical transformation. If it tries to come out too soon, it will never fly. It must stay in the process until it is ready. And when the time is right, it will emerge with wings. You are rushing the process. You are trying to skip the isolation, trying to avoid the discomfort, trying to stay connected to everything and everyone. But if you truly want to grow, you must be willing to go through the season of isolation. You must be willing to be misunderstood. You must be willing to separate yourself for a time so that you can return stronger, wiser, and more powerful than ever before. Do not fear isolation. Do not fight the process. Use this time to develop yourself. Use this time to strengthen your mind. Use this time to build a foundation for your future. Because when the season of isolation is over, you will not be the same. You will be transformed. You will be unshakable. You will be unstoppable. One of the biggest reasons people fail to move forward in life is because they refuse to cut ties with their past. They are trying to embrace their future while still holding on to the weight of yesterday. But you cannot walk into your destiny while dragging your history. You cannot step into a new chapter while rereading the old one. At some point, you must make the decision to release what no longer serves you. If you truly want to grow, if you truly want to rise, if you truly want to become who you were created to be, you must cut all ties with the past that is holding you back. Too many people live their lives looking in the rearview mirror, focused on what happened, who left, what went wrong, and what they lost. But let me tell you this, the past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. You were never meant to stay stuck in what was. You were never meant to keep replaying the pain, the betrayal, the failures, and the disappointments. The past only has power over you when you refuse to let it go. Every time you dwell on it, you give it permission to control your present. Every time you entertain the same negative memories, you reinforce their grip on your mind. But the moment you decide to cut ties, the moment you decide to walk away mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, you reclaim your power. Understand this, your past may have shaped you, but it does not define you. What happened to you is not who you are. The mistakes you made are not your identity. The failures you experienced are not your destiny. But as long as you continue to hold on to what was, you cannot receive what is meant to be. Imagine trying to carry 2 suitcases, one filled with everything from your past pain, regrets, lost opportunities, and the other filled with everything your future has for you: peace, purpose, blessings. But you cannot hold both. You must make a choice. If you refuse to drop the past, your hands will never be free to receive what is ahead. Some of you need to make a firm decision today. You need to stop entertaining conversations that remind you of who you used to be. You need to stop revisiting places that pull you back into the mindset you have outgrown. You need to stop giving your energy to people who keep you tied to an expired version of yourself. Your future is calling you, but it cannot pull you forward if you are still chained to your past. The longer you stay attached to what is gone, the longer you delay what is coming. Look at nature. When a snake grows, it sheds its old skin. It does not try to wear it again. It does not hold on to it for sentimental reasons. It leaves it behind because it understands that in order to grow, it must let go. You must do the same. Some things in your life are expired. Some relationships are over. Some opportunities are gone, and that is okay. It is not a loss, it is preparation. It is making room for what is meant for you. But you must be bold enough to release what no longer belongs in your life. Cutting ties with the past does not mean forgetting everything that happened. It means refusing to be imprisoned by it. It means deciding that your future is worth more than your history. It means choosing growth over comfort, purpose over nostalgia, and destiny over memories. You cannot rewrite what has already been written, but you can decide what your next chapter will be. And the moment you fully let go, the moment you truly release the past, you will feel lighter, freer, and more ready than ever to step into the life you were always meant to live. There comes a time in life when the most powerful thing you can do is disappear. Not in the physical sense, but in the way you engage with the world. Sometimes, the best move you can make is to cut all contacts, retreat in silence, and focus entirely on yourself. This is not an act of weakness, it is an act of power. It is a strategic withdrawal. It is removing yourself from noise, from unnecessary distractions, from people who drain you, and from environments that no longer serve your growth. It is in this disappearing act that you will find clarity, transformation, and elevation. Many people fail to grow because they are too accessible. They are too easy to reach, too predictable, too involved in things that do not contribute to their purpose. They waste energy responding to people who do not deserve their time. They engage in arguments that do not lead to progress. They explain themselves to people who will never understand them. They spend their days proving themselves instead of improving themselves. But the wise move differently. They understand that growth happens in silence. That real power is not in being everywhere, talking to everyone, explaining everything, but in moving in ways that no one expects. Think about the most successful people in the world. They do not announce every move. They do not respond to every opinion. They do not allow everyone into their space. They understand the value of strategic silence. The moment you disappear, the moment you remove yourself from constant accessibility, you force people to respect you differently. Your absence speaks louder than your presence. When you no longer react, no longer explain, no longer make yourself available to everything and everyone, you send a message, one that says, I am focused. I am growing. I am no longer available for anything that does not serve my purpose. But here's the challenge: disappearing requires discipline. It requires the ability to walk away without looking back. It requires resisting the urge to check in, to explain, to seek validation. It requires learning to be comfortable in your own company, to trust your own journey, and to focus on your own path without the need for constant connection. And for many people, this is difficult, because we live in a world that promotes constant engagement. A world that makes you feel like you must always be seen, always be heard, always be connected. But that is a lie. Some of the greatest transformations happen in the dark. Some of the most powerful growth happens when no one is watching. The tree does not grow taller while shouting about it. It grows in silence, its roots deepening beneath the surface. The most dangerous storms do not give warnings. They appear when least expected. And the most powerful people do not waste time proving themselves. They disappear, they work, and they return stronger. If you truly want to elevate, You must master the art of disappearing. Cut all contacts that drain your energy. Remove yourself from spaces that limit your growth. Stop explaining your decisions. Stop giving people access to your mind, your emotions, your plans. Move in silence, work in private, and let your success speak for itself. Because here's the truth, when you disappear for a season, people will wonder. They will talk. They will speculate. But in the end, when you reappear, they will have no choice but to respect the transformation. They will see the results, and by then, you will no longer need to explain. Your silence will have already spoken. There comes a moment in life when you must choose yourself, your growth, your purpose, your peace over everything and everyone that no longer aligns with your destiny. You must embrace the power of silence, the necessity of separation, and the wisdom of cutting all contacts that do not serve your elevation. Growth is not found in constant connection. Strength is not built by entertaining distractions. Success is not achieved by explaining your vision to those who refuse to see it. If you want to rise, you must be willing to walk alone. If you want to evolve, you must be willing to let go. If you want to reach your full potential, you must be willing to disappear for a season so that you can return transformed. Your absence will speak louder than your words. Your silence will command more respect than your explanations. Your growth will prove everything you ever wanted to say. So stop seeking validation. Stop clinging to expired relationships. Stop holding on to a past that cannot take you into the future. Instead, step forward with boldness. Walk away with confidence. Cut the ties, embrace the silence, and watch how life begins to shift in your favor. Because when you reappear stronger, wiser, and unshakable, those who once doubted you, misunderstood you, or underestimated you will have no choice but to acknowledge the power of your transformation. And by then, you will no longer need their approval. You will have already won.